today. Really cool car today. It's something you don't see very often. It's a 1990 Nissan GTR. It's an R32, twin turbo, all-wheel drive. I mean, this is a supercar, and get pretty excited about seeing these cars. You don't see them very often at all. You know, right-hand drive. You know, it's just the sight. You know, the first time I actually drove it down the street, I was so amazed. Actually, you know, how many people were checking it out and waving thumbs up and everything, because it's I mean, it's an aggressive looking car. So pretty excited to be able to selling it for a friend of mine who got in 2016 from Japan Partners, who did all the conversion and everything over in Japan, and he had brought it over here. So we're excited to sell it for him, and it's just a pretty special car. It's only got 48,000 miles on it. I think it's 83,000 kilometers, or actually, what's it say again? 68? Yeah, 68 kilometers, sorry, which translates to about 42,000 miles. You know, so it's a low mileage car, and it hasn't been overly modified or anything like that. The engine's all stock RB26 and hasn't been modified at all. So we'll walk around it, and I'll show you some different stuff about it. You can see on the front, it's got an R34 front end on it. It's aluminum fenders and fiberglass hood, fiberglass air dam, and it's called Z-Tune that they build over there in Japan. It's kind of neat that this car was all converted over there and not done over here. So this is exactly the way they bought it. I think that they built a few of these actually in this color. It's called Bayside Blue. It's an R34 color, and they built them all pretty identical, but I think this was number 5 that they built. I don't have any documentation on a number or something like that, but from when he talked to him, it was number 5 that they built. So anyways, we'll just walk around the front here. I was going to show you the lights. We've got our marker lights work, headlights, then our bright lights. We got blinkers. We got our right, and we got our left. You know, all that's working in general. If we just walk around the front, you'll notice some little tiny chips, little tiny scratches on it, just from being driven. You know, you can see here, right on the front, there's just a couple little chips there. And, you know, the paint is actually pretty nice, but you will see some imperfections in the paint. You know, I think that this thing could be cut and buffed, would do wonders. I mean, it looks great now, but you'll see a little bit of light orange peel, which you actually see a lot on new cars, but the paint's really nice condition, but you'll just see little tiny things, you know, in the paint in general. You can see right here a little stress crack right there, just a little spider web in there in the fiberglass. You know, but overall, it's a nice looking car. You know, no breaks in the air dam or anything like that. It actually looks really clean overall. Yeah, this car is really fun to drive. I've been behind the wheel, and it's pretty amazing. You can see the rocker. Looks in good shape. I'll put it up on my lift too, so you can see it. You know, we put new brake rotors and the shoes on it. You'll get the original rotors that came on the car. The wheels look good. A couple little tiny nicks, but overall look in good shape. The tires, just looking for the size here for you. Should have had it in my memory. I'll look on the next one. The tires are in really good shape, and they're called Triangle TR 968s. And then we'll go back here to the back. Maybe I can see the size. So there we go. 245 60 18s. So, and that is a factory wheel. You know, you can look here at the paint. You know, no rust blisters or anything like that around the quarters. You know, I'm used to looking at old cars, but some of this new stuff gets stuff like that. You can see a little imperfection right there in the paint as well. Right here, there's a little dimple. Hopefully you can see See that? It actually kind of protrudes out. You know, it's just a little tiny ding. Actually, a paintless dent guy could probably fix that really easy and tap it back in. But there you can see an imperfection in the paint. You know, the roof looks good. You can see here the gaskets are worn. You know, these could be replaced. You know, it's amazing, this car's 28 years old. You know, 1990, yeah, 28 years old. So I remember this kind of stuff when I was growing up, but I didn't see no GTRs. You can see here when they repainted it, if you look here real close, they when they feathered out the old paint, you can just see the edge still there, and hopefully you can notice that a little bit. But you'll see it here, a little bit here, on there. You have to look close for this and kind of get down on the side, but right here on the underneath the wing, you can see little parts that they feathered out. But they probably should have primered it there some more and then wet sanded it some more. But overall, looks good. Really impressive car. I mean, like I said, it's really a little monster. I really didn't know until I actually drove this car how impressive they are. So we'll flip it around here and you can see the other side. Hey, here we are. We just wanted to flip it around so you can see it in the sun a little bit better. So we'll just walk around the back here and just show you some different stuff. I love the back end of these. I mean, it looks really killer. Go ahead and rev it up just a little bit. It sounds really good. You know, if you look down the side, you know, it's really straight. That little Saab 900 over there, it's a little jealous, but you'll get over it. You know, you look at the bottom of the quarters, and I like how these flare out just a little bit from the factory. Got Stanley hiding over there in the tree. Hopefully you can see him next to Sasquatch. So we'll just look here, show you the lights here. Go ahead and put it in reverse. See the reverse lights work. Got tail lights. Got brakes. Got signals. You know, these lights actually, turn the lights on again. As you can see, the lights working up there. Showing the brake lights are on now. So anyways, overall in great shape. The wing was put on over there as well. You know, it looks good on the car. I'm just gonna try to show just some general things, right? I like on the other side I said there was just a little, kind of a little Audi kind of ding there, but they're the same on both sides. I thought this was kind of interesting on these cars, is the rear windshield wiper. You know, looking around the wheel well, you can see right here, there's a couple little scratches on the car, but nothing major. Actually, this would probably buff out pretty good right there. I'll actually try that. You can see some little sanding scratches right here when they repainted it. Again, it's a nice looking car, but when you get up close, you will notice a couple little things. But I think a cut and buff would be amazing on it. And I'm not trying to down the car or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you, you know, in the video, you know, since you're not here in person to see it. I don't want any surprises when you get it. You see some little kind of chipping right there. You know, again, I've got new rubber for the windows here. I don't have this little piece here, and that's why I didn't put the new gaskets in yet, because I think you might have to remove that piece to get this piece in. So you just need to find that little piece if you need to. So, but overall, nice looking car, looks good. You can see some little chipping right here, little scratch right there, and a little tiny ahead and show you some more stuff on it. We'll put it up on my lift and drive it around, and we'll have a fun time with it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at the interior here on the driver's side. You know, the only modification that they put on this car is the new Momo steering wheel. I actually like it in there. And you can see the door panels. It's got power windows and locks. You can see the dash. Everything's real easy to use. You can see the odometer. It's in kilometers. It's 68,153. I think that translates to about 42,000 miles. Right here in the, you can see hopefully you can see that. There's a little crack in the dash right there. I'll show you the little spot over there where it's lifting when we look at the other side. But overall, the seats look good. There is one little tiny burn right here. I don't know what it came from. I mean, I'm assuming cigarette, but I don't see any signs of any, you know, anyone using the ashtray or anything like that. So, I mean, it could have been from wiring or something like that. And it doesn't have a dark spot around it like you would see with a cigarette burn, and I don't see any other signs, and definitely doesn't smell like smoke at all. And inside, I actually hate cigarette smoke and got really bad allergy, so I would know if it did. And we can look inside the jams. The vent, again, really nice. And you can see some little rubbing, you know, right here on the edge. That could probably be buffed right there, but just some little rubbing, and this little black is from the rubber on the gasket. So as I mentioned before, I've got new gaskets to go around here. So, but you know, 5-speed transmission, you know, all the gauges are there. You can see here for the boost, and then also the torque for the front. Hopefully you can see that. When we're driving it, we'll show you that all those gauges are working. No check engine lights or anything like that. Everything looks in pretty good shape. Back seat looks good. So anyways, we'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. Okay, we're going to take a look at the passenger side. I always have a hard time calling these the passenger side. I'm the same way with my 85 Defender. You know, it's right-hand drive, and I'll be walking out to the parking lot and stuff like that, and I'll try to get on this side. It's just kind of funny, but they're actually really fun to drive. You know, really easy to drive on the right-hand side. So, you know, it's just definitely unique. But we'll just take a look at the interior. Actually, interior is actually pretty nice. It's all stock. You know, no modifications in here that I know of. You know, the dash pad on this side looks good. You can see right here that it's lifted just a little bit there. I don't know if that could be heated and shrunk, but you know, it's glued to that. So you can see here it's bubbling up just a little bit there. So you can look inside the door jambs. Everything looks in good condition. You know, no accidents or anything like that. When I put it up on my lift, you know, definitely no accidents at all. Really clean underneath. As I mentioned before, I've got new rubber for the doors and around the edge here. And we'll go ahead and look at the back seat from this side. I already showed you a lot of stuff on the other side, but you know, the back seat looks good. You can look up here. Headliner looks in good condition overall. I just noticed on this side that the actuator's not working for the light, unless I've got it shut off. You can see there it's working. Let me double check that. It just says it's permanently on. Maybe if I have it in the center. There we go. So that does work. It was just in the off position. So, you know, everything looks pretty good. Okay, so here we are, we're underneath the hood. You can see here, RB26, twin turbo. You know, this is the original engine to the car, and it hasn't had any modifications. I guess there's, inside here, there's some kind of regulator or something in the hoses, and I guess if you take this out and do some kind of modification, it adds 40 horsepower or something. But the nice thing is this has not been modified, and you know, everyone likes a modified car, but usually when things are modified, you know, someone's really hammered on it and stuff. So this car is basically stock. And you can see here also, you know, when they painted the car, you know, they took this all apart and painted it blue, you know, inside and out. And so I forgot the color that it originally was, but this is Bayside blue and R34 color. But you can see all the way down inside the frame rails, you know, that this has been, you know, painted inside here. So, you know, they did a nice job, you know, trying to do that. And so obviously they had to disassemble all this before they did it. So the engine looks good, nice and clean. You know, I haven't seen any oil leaks or anything like that. The AC currently isn't working. My friend, it would go on and off, and probably might just need to be charged. I'm not sure. You know, the belts and everything are on it, so he never really looked in it too far. But you know, it's just a wicked little motor. And you know, one of the most important things in here too we're looking at is there's no crumples or anything like that. It hasn't been hit. You know, all the inner aprons look nice. You can see here the original tag on the car. You know, this is a R32 model. And over here, more importantly, anyone can put a tag on something, but this is the original stamping up here on the firewall. And you know, it matches this tag, 13075, 13075. So really, really important. And if you look underneath here, it's just clean. We'll go ahead and start it up so you can hear it run. You know, sounds good. Go ahead and rev it up just a little bit. You know, it's just amazing when it sits here like this. It just sounds so tame, but out on the road, it's impressive. So we'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. We're going to take a look underneath the trunk. There is actually, right next to the seat there, there's a little lever for the gas door and the trunk, and it doesn't open the trunk. You can hear it, but it actually won't let it go. So just wanted to show you in here real quick. Right here's those gaskets that I showed you earlier. And in this little box is a little kit for the gauges if you wanted to put those on, white face gauges. But you know, most importantly, the trunk looks good. You know, inside here it's not rusty, and you know, no accident damage or anything. Go ahead and pull this up. You can see inside here everything looks all in order. You know, I don't see any reason to take all this stuff out, and just especially because I've been underneath the car and stuff. So you know, it just helps you. You know, it's got factory spare, so everything's actually pretty clean inside the trunk area. So we'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. Hey, here we are behind the wheel. I just wanted to show you the idiot lights work. You can see the 4x4 anti-lock. You can hear the radio click there, but I'll go ahead and fire her up. You can see the tack is working. You know, it's cold right now, so that's why this is your temperature gauge for your oil, turbo. When you're out on the road, this thing kicks up, you know, close to 7, right in between there. And then this is obviously your amp gauge. You see the temperature gauge for the water, and then the oil pressure gauge is working. You can see the gas gauge is working as well. Or up there, the front wheel torque. When you're really getting on it, you'll see that gauge raise as well. Easy to control. Your lights are over here. Frost or fog lamps, if it had fog lamps, you know, windshield wipers and stuff. The radio, I'll just show you here. It works with Bluetooth and everything, and iPod, but I don't think, you can see here, it's got a little antenna. I don't know if it's hooked up to the antenna for the radio, because I've tried to run the radio and I just haven't been able to get a station. So we'll just go ahead and put it on Bluetooth here. You can see. You know, the radio works.
You show us everything you got.
I mean the Bluetooth and everything, but the radio, when I click it, I haven't been able to get any stations. So you can hear it make noise, but it may not be hooked up to the antenna. Or unless I just don't know how to work the thing, which might be the case. So anyways, we'll take it out for a little spin. You can see the miles are 68,160, and trip is reading 490. So also, I can't remember, I showed the windows working. So everything seems to be working. There's no check engine lights. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention too, I can hear the AC click on. You can hear the door behind the dash somewhere, but the AC isn't blowing cold right now. My friend said it was a little bit sporadic, so it's a chance though that it might just be the you know, just needs new Freon and stuff, but you know, we haven't charged it or anything like that. I've never really done much of that in general. I know you can buy cans of it at the store and stuff, but I haven't done anything like that. But you know, I can hear it shut off and on. So anyways, we'll take it out for a little spin. You can see here it's a 5-speed transmission, and this will kick out here in a second. And actually, I'll just pull it now. You can see it's red. So anyways, we'll cruise around. Hey, we're going to take a look at the Skyline underneath. You know, you're going to see all the still photos and stuff in the auction, but you know, as you know, we like to put them up on the lift and talk about them. And you know, even though it's a newer car and stuff, it's good to do a video and just check out different things about it. So you know, that's one of the first things I look at when I look at a car. You know, I'll spend about 2 or 3 minutes looking at the outside, then I hop underneath and take a look. So we'll just we'll go ahead and just start here from the back to the front, do it a little different today. You can see all the ground effects look good. There's no cracks or anything on it. As I said before, this was put on over in Japan. They did all the conversion over there. So it's kind of cool in its own right. You know, that someone didn't do it over here. So you can see, and you saw a still photo. You know, we just put the brakes on, so these aren't worn yet. But you know, when we're driving it around and doing the walk around in general, you'll see that all this black's going to rub off. But it does have new shoes and rotors on it. You know, the wheels look good, tires look excellent. you know, you can actually see the little knobbies still on it here, so they're probably 99.5% tread on them and still. Well, let's take a look underneath here. You can see it's still got, I believe, the original shocks on it. All the boots look nice. You know, you're gonna see some surface rust and little things underneath here. You can see this boot isn't cracked. Inner boot, it's hard to see, but there's not any cracks on them either. They look good. You know, this boot looks good as well. So if you look up here, this is where the important things are. You can see the mounts aren't rusty, look really clean. You can see a little bit of the rubber on the bottom of this spring is kind of deteriorated a little bit. Just look here on this other side. You know, the mount up here, you know, absolutely no rust and looks good. You look at the frame rail up there, very, very good condition. Inside the wheel well, looks good up there with the shock mounts. You know, again, no rust. Looks nice. You look back behind this panel, you can see that, you know, it hasn't been hit in the back or anything like that. Actually very, very clean. You know, I don't know, you know, it's always a learning experience with a car like this because I haven't had one before, and so there'll be a lot of guys on Bring a Trailer to be able to tell us a lot more. I don't know if this is it's probably a factory exhaust, I guess, from the front to here, but I don't, you know, they did convert this over there and put this muffler and tailpipe on it, but they might have actually put the whole system on from back there, you know, all the way back. So you guys can tell me if they did or not. Just what makes me think that maybe it was put on. You can see just the way some of these brackets are made. It doesn't look like probably something from the factory, but you know, maybe they were on the GTR. So the rear end looks good. I haven't seen any oil leaks or anything like that. Actually looks really clean. You know, the axles look good. You know, this is an all-wheel drive. We'll go ahead and look at the floors up here in the front. They actually look really good. You can see here, I think someone probably hit a curb and kind of, you know, if you're in the vintage Mustangs and stuff, you know, the frame rails always, you know, if you go over the top of something, they look dented in just a little bit. You know, but I don't see any rust or anything like that. You know, up here the front frame rails look really, really good. You can see a little bit of surface rust right there, but you know, again, that's pretty minor. Floor pans look good. You know, the inner rocker looks in good shape. You can see here they probably hit a curb here, and this was actually probably before they did all this conversion, because obviously if you would have hit this right here, that would have been messed up. And everything looks pretty good. And in here we'll see the transmission. And everything looks clean. Hoses look pretty decent. You know, this is the transfer case back here. You can see the front axle. I mean the front axle's here and the rear axle's here, the drive line, I mean. You can see all the way back here. You got front drive line up here. I don't see anything leaking or anything, you know, out the fronts or anything like that. You can see the steering boot looks good, you know, on both sides. One thing that we're gonna do, and this boot here has a small crack in it. It's not spilling out or anything like that, but we're gonna go ahead and replace this boot and this one here. You can see it's dry, but I could see right here, a lot of people probably wouldn't change this yet, but you can just see right there the seam is just starting to, you know, come apart a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and change those. You know, if you look at the, you know, I felt in the inner boot, and it actually looks and feels good. Brake lines look in good shape. I don't see any major cracking or anything like that. You know, they look nice. So, oh, here's the other boot here. You can see inside here. You know, this one looks good. And we've spun it around before and looked at it, but both of them look good. You know, no oil leaks or anything around here. You know, everything looks in good shape. You know, really important in here, we're looking at the shock mount. Everything looks good. Original Nismo shocks or struts. You can see up in here, no accident damage. Looks actually pretty clean. The frame rail looks good. Going up here and look at this frame rail here. Everything looks in pretty good order. You look up here, let's get that light up there a little bit more. The shock area looks, the strut area looks good up there. I don't see any rust. You can see a little bit of surface rust right up there at the top. That's pretty minor. But, you know, obviously this car was in Japan, so you're always going to see some surface rust. Looks like they undercoated it, obviously at some point. You look inside the rocker here, a little bit of surface rust right there, but nothing to be concerned. You can see the spot welds. If you look on this side, looks like they put a little patch right here and cut that out, and that has been replaced, this little tiny section there, but yeah, you can tell the difference on both sides. I'll look at the inner rocker here. It looks in good condition. You know, overall pretty clean. Look at this frame rail from this side real fast. Everything looks good. You can see right here where some of the undercoating came off. But overall, looks in pretty good shape for one of these cars. So hopefully that gives you a good look in general. And if you got any questions or anything like that, give me a call. You know, you're going to see all the photos and stuff like that. But you can give me a call, email me, make comments on Bring a Trailer. Be glad to help. You know, if someone wants to come by and take a look at it before you bid, that would be great. Love to show it to you. So anyways, have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.